Have you ever wondered how Chinese families manage to save so much, even when living in expensive cities like Shanghai or Beijing? Here's one secret most people overlook. They don't live apart, they live together. In China, it's totally normal for 3 generations to share the same roof. Grandparents, parents, and kids all under one home. But this isn't just about tradition or family values. It's actually one of the smartest financial systems in the world. Today, let's break down how Chinese families save money by living under one roof, and why this old-school setup might be the ultimate modern money hack. One of the most underrated financial habits in Chinese families is their approach to shared living. It's not just a cultural thing, it's an economic strategy that's been working for generations. In many Chinese households, parents, children, and grandparents all live together in one home. At first glance, it might seem crowded or inconvenient, but when you break down the numbers, it's actually a powerful system for saving money. Think about it this way. Instead of 3 separate homes with 3 sets of rent, water, electricity, and groceries, one family home handles it all. The total living cost might be higher than what one person pays alone, but divided among several adults, the per-person cost becomes incredibly low. It's the ultimate example of economy of scale. The same concept businesses use to reduce expenses by sharing resources. A typical Chinese household might have the grandparents paying for groceries, the parents covering utilities or mortgage payments, and the younger generation helping with tech, repairs, or maintenance. No one carries the entire burden alone. And since there's a strong cultural norm of helping each other, no one keeps a strict tally of who owes what. It's all about teamwork and long-term stability. Another layer to this is the social benefit. Shared living keeps family members connected and emotionally supported, which indirectly saves money too. There's less need for therapy, loneliness spending, or impulse purchases just to feel better. When you're surrounded by people you love, you naturally spend less on distractions. Plus, home ownership in China is often a collective effort. Parents might use their savings to buy the home, the adult children handle the renovations, and grandparents chip in with their pensions. Instead of 3 generations each struggling to build a financial foundation separately, they combine forces to build one solid structure. In Western countries, independence is often seen as the goal: moving out, renting solo, and proving financial self-sufficiency. But in China, living together is viewed as smart, not shameful. It's not about dependence, it's about financial efficiency and family strength. The result is a household that saves more, spends less, and builds wealth faster. So while some might see multi-generational living as old-fashioned, it's actually a quietly powerful financial move. Shared living means shared bills, shared food, shared care, and ultimately shared prosperity. In most Western countries, childcare can eat up a massive part of a family's budget, sometimes even more than rent. But in China, many families have found a way around this expense. Grandparents. When 3 generations live together, grandparents become the ultimate built-in childcare system, and it completely changes how the family manages money. Instead of paying for daycare or a nanny, parents can go to work knowing their kids are being cared for by someone who loves them deeply and is invested in their future. It's not just babysitting, it's full-time, hands-on, culturally rooted education and guidance. Chinese grandparents often take on this role proudly, seeing it as their way to support the family and pass on traditional values. This setup saves families thousands of dollars a year. Childcare costs in big cities like Shanghai or Beijing can reach 4,000 to 6,000 yuan per month. That's more than 600 to 900 US dollars. Multiply that by a year, and you can see why grandparents' help is such a financial blessing. That money can instead go towards savings, paying off a mortgage, or investing in the child's education. But it's not just about saving money. It also brings stability and emotional comfort to the kids. Growing up with grandparents nearby creates a stronger family bond and a sense of continuity. Kids hear family stories, learn traditional customs, and grow up with a deep sense of belonging, things money can't buy. There's another subtle financial benefit. When grandparents live in the same home, they often contribute to the household too. They might help with groceries, cooking, or even bills, using their pensions or savings to keep the household running smoothly. This means both parents can work longer hours or pursue better career opportunities without worrying about who's watching the kids. Of course, there are challenges. generational differences, disagreements on parenting styles, or limited personal space. But most families learn to navigate those because the benefits outweigh the costs. It's a system built on mutual trust and shared purpose. In a world where modern life often separates families for convenience, Chinese households remind us that sometimes the smartest way to save isn't about earning more, it's about working together. Having grandparents as built-in childcare isn't just a cultural habit, it's one of the most effective financial strategies out there. One of the most fascinating money habits in Chinese families is how they treat the entire household as a single financial unit. Instead of everyone managing their money separately, many families pool their income and savings together, what I like to call the family investment pool. This system works like a small-scale family fund. Each generation contributes in some way. Grandparents might add savings or pension income, parents bring in salaries, and adult children pitch in with bonuses or business profits. All of this money flows into one shared goal, usually property, education, or investments that benefit the entire family. For example, when it's time to buy a home, the down payment rarely comes from just one person. Parents and grandparents often step in to help their kids secure a better location or a larger apartment. It's not seen as helping out, it's seen as investing in the family's future. Later on, when the younger generation is more financially stable, they return the favor by supporting their elders or helping the next child buy a home. This multi-generational teamwork allows Chinese families to build wealth faster than individuals who save alone. It's like compounding interest, but with people. Everyone's contributions, no matter how small, grow into something much bigger because they're combined and managed with long-term thinking. It also creates financial security. If one family member loses a job or faces a setback, the group steps in to cover the gap. There's a shared sense of we're in this together, which reduces the stress of financial uncertainty. Instead of relying on loans or credit cards, people rely on each other. What makes this work so well is trust. Chinese culture places a strong emphasis on family loyalty and collective progress. When everyone shares the same vision, stability, home ownership, and security for future generations, money becomes a tool for unity, not division. So while Western culture often celebrates financial independence, Chinese families show that interdependence can be just as powerful. The family investment pool isn't just about saving money, it's about building generational wealth through cooperation and shared purpose. In China, taking care of your parents isn't viewed as an obligation, it's a source of pride. This value comes from filial piety, a deep-rooted Confucian belief that children should respect, honor, and support their parents, especially as they grow older. And this philosophy isn't just moral, it shapes the way families handle money and living arrangements. When parents get older, it's common for them to move in with their adult children, not because they can't live alone, but because both generations see it as the right thing to do. The children provide financial and emotional support, while the parents help with household chores, childcare, and wisdom from years of experience. It's a mutual exchange, love and labor traded instead of cash. This tradition has powerful financial advantages. Elderly parents save on nursing home or assisted living costs, which are rising even in China. Meanwhile, the younger family avoids hiring help or paying for services like babysitting, cleaning, or home maintenance. Everything stays in the family, and that keeps money circulating internally instead of flowing out. But more than the financial benefits, it's about identity. Many Chinese people believe that caring for parents honors the sacrifices they made, paying for school, working long hours, or helping buy that first apartment. So when the time comes to return that support, it's seen as a moral and emotional investment, not a financial burden. This mindset also changes how people plan their finances. Younger adults often save with their parents' future in mind, setting aside money for healthcare, comfort, or home renovations that make aging easier. Even major life choices, like buying a larger apartment, are made with family togetherness in mind. In a world where independence often means living far apart, Chinese families find pride and strength in staying close. Taking care of parents isn't just tradition, it's a lifestyle that blends love, loyalty, and smart financial sense. And in the process, it preserves something money can't buy: family unity across generations. If there's one thing that truly defines how Chinese families think about money, it's their obsession with preparing for the next generation. Everything, from how they live to how they invest, is built around ensuring their children and grandchildren have a better, more secure future. It's not about short-term comfort, it's about long-term legacy. This mindset is deeply rooted in Chinese culture. For centuries, the idea of family continuity has been central to society. Every generation sees itself as a link in a long chain, not the start or the end. That's why many Chinese parents and grandparents are willing to make enormous sacrifices today so that their children can live easier tomorrow. And this mentality shows up everywhere, especially in how they handle money. Instead of chasing instant gratification, Chinese families save aggressively. It's not unusual for households to live frugally, cut unnecessary expenses, and focus on building savings accounts, investments, and property, all with the next generation in mind. Buying a home for their children before they marry, paying for top-quality education, or setting aside money for future business opportunities are all considered normal responsibilities. Education, in particular, is seen as the ultimate investment. Parents and grandparents will often pool money to send children to good schools, tutoring programs, or even abroad for college. It's not just about prestige, it's about giving their kids the tools to succeed and secure higher-paying, stable jobs. In their view, this is the best return on investment a family can make. Home ownership is another key part of saving for the next generation. In many Chinese cities, parents start saving early to help their children buy their first apartment, often before marriage. Owning property isn't just financial security, it's social status and stability. Having a home ready means one less financial worry for the young couple, and it often strengthens family bonds since the property stays in the family. Beyond tangible assets, there's also a strong emphasis on passing down financial discipline itself. Kids grow up watching their parents save, budget carefully, and avoid debt. That behavior becomes the foundation of their own financial habits later in life. It's not just about handing over money, it's about teaching responsibility and delayed gratification. What's especially interesting is how this long-term thinking contrasts with many Western approaches to money. In Western cultures, there's often a focus on individual success and financial independence. In Chinese families, success is collective. It's not my money, it's our future. Parents don't just save for retirement, they save for their children's wedding, their grandkids' education, and sometimes even to help the next generation start a business. This forward-thinking mindset creates a ripple effect. Each generation starts a little further ahead because of the sacrifices made before them. And that's the real secret behind how Chinese families quietly build wealth over time. They think in decades, not days. In the end, saving for the next generation isn't just a financial plan. It's an expression of love and responsibility. It's about ensuring that the family story doesn't just survive, it grows stronger with each chapter. So when you look at how Chinese families live, sharing homes, pooling money, caring for parents, and saving for the next generation, it's clear this isn't just about frugality. It's a full-blown family financial system built on trust, teamwork, and long-term vision. While the rest of the world is often focused on personal independence, Chinese families show the power of interdependence, where everyone plays a role and everyone benefits. It's not always easy, but it's smart, sustainable, and deeply rooted in cultural pride. Maybe that's the biggest lesson here. Wealth isn't just about how much you earn, but how well you work together. And sometimes, the strongest investment you can make isn't in stocks or property, it's in your own family.